Most men actually think that the gym will sharpen their face. I did as well, until I realized that the gym doesn't target the facial muscles that actually matures our face. After months of testing different systems, I finally built a system that builds what the gym can't do. That's the secret behind my 8-month transformation, and why guys I coach see results in just 30 to 45 days. But here's what most men don't realize. Your face has muscles just like your body. And if they never develop properly, your face will stay all underdeveloped and soft. And almost every guy I work with is missing development in the same 4 facial areas. So let's start with the foundation. If this muscle never developed, your jaw won't project forward, but instead it will project inwards, and that's what's gonna give you a recessed chin. So muscle number 1, the hard palate. So if you take a look at the screen, you can see that we have the roof of our mouth here on the left side. What I want you to understand is that our palate is split up in 2 different sections. So the upper part of our palate is what's called the hard palate. So this is the area. Then the lower face here is what's called the soft palate. If we push with our tongue, basically mewing up against the soft part here, you will open up the airways so you can breathe better. However, if you want to project your lower jaw forwards and upwards, we need to target the hard palate, because if we push onto our hard palate, you'll push something called your maxilla, which is your upper jaw here. It will be pushed forward, and then your mandible will follow with it, so you will stop having that recessed looking chin. If you just take a look at my transformation here on the right side, you can clearly see here, before my 8-month transformation, I only had a length of 160 and I had a minus degree on 25, like minus 25. You can clearly see how recessed my jawline is, comparing it to the right side here when I have pushed it upwards and forwards, where the length is now 186 and it has a minus degree on only 12. And there are so many other benefits as well to doing this exercise that I'm going to show you in a minute. And it's, for example, if you have a crooked nose, as you can see on this guy's picture here, where it looks like your face just drops downwards with your jaw as well, right? Which gives this recessed looking look. It's because your maxilla is underdeveloped. Furthermore, you may have a narrow face, which is basically just a more feminine feature, which you don't want to have as a man. As you can see on this picture here, it looks so oblong and so narrow, which is the most unattractive thing that you can have as a man. And then furthermore, you will have tired eyes. You can clearly see how tired they look. That's for most of the reason why people have these sloppy eyes. So now if we take a look at my transformation here on the left side, let me go over to it. Yeah, so as you can clearly see on the right side here, that is my before picture, and I had the exact same traits as this anatomy picture here I had. And it's having an oblong face. I had a narrow face as well. There wasn't really any width to myself. I had tired looking eyes, basically prey eyes as well. All these different traits. Comparing it now to the left side picture, look at how much width I have gotten here. My face looks way more mature and masculine, and my eyes look so energetic and masculine instead of, you know, fucking sloppy eyes that people will just ask you, are you tired today? Like, it's so annoying to hear those things. So let me tell you exactly the action step that I want you to do so you can get this transformation as well. It's not mewing, because that's just the basic thing. That's just something that we need to have learned as a basic. The next step is to do something called hard mewing. That's like the next level. So the way that you want to do hard mewing is that you want to do it like this. So follow my steps now so you understand how to do it later on. Basically, you take your tongue and you will put it up against the hard palate. Remember what the hard palate was? It's the roof of your mouth right behind of your teeth basically. You will feel, if you take your tongue up against that part, you can kind of feel that there's a rough texture, and that's exactly where you want to apply the tongue. So when you do this with your tongue, you want to apply the force with your tongue upwards and then forwards to get the maximum activation. From here, you simply want to use your jaw as well to give more resistance. So you basically chew upwards like this. This will really give you so much more pressure. So basically what you want to do from here is that you go up with your jaw, And then you want to think about push it down with your palate. So like the roof of your mouth, you want to think about going downwards with that part. So your jaw goes upwards and your hard palate goes downwards. So you apply pressure on the tongue, so you will have more pressure like this. Simply just what you want to do from here is to just apply as much pressure upwards and forwards as possible with your tongue, and then swallow. Because when you swallow, you activate the suction part of the movement. So your tongue will not just push on your hard palate, but it will go flat up against your whole entire area. So it supports the whole growth like this. And now you're doing hard mewing. Congratulations. But now, fixing the foundation isn't quite enough. There are 3 other muscle groups that decides if your face will ever mature. That's why the people say that they don't see any results from mewing. It's because they have only been doing mewing, which was the foundation, but they have been neglecting the other 3 muscle groups. So muscle number 2 targets the eye area. It's what separates the sloppy and prey eyes to now having energetic and relaxed, confident eyes, aka the hunter eyes. And it's the muscle called the orbicularis oculi. It's just the muscle around the whole eye area here. So if you take a look at the screen, you can see the red text up here is some of the bad traits that you're probably having right now with your eyes. So let me tell you what those is. So first of all, you may have uneven eyes. I used to have this as well. It feels like one of your eyes goes more upwards than the other one, and that's just because one of the muscles is raised higher than the other one, probably because of things like expression. So for most of your life, you've maybe been doing one expression with one of your eyes. So whenever you were speaking, maybe one of the eyes went downwards and the other went upwards, right? So over time, this will actually make you give you this asymmetrical eye area. The second thing is that your frontalis muscle, basically the muscle that you have, right? You can see the anatomy picture right here on the forehead. If they aren't relaxed, your eyebrows will go upwards and you will have so much more upper eyelid exposure, comparing it to relaxing the muscles, so you have less upper eyelid exposure, which is one of the reasons why so many people have prey eyes instead of hunter eyes. And then the last bad trait is that you may have a neutral or negative canthal tilt. But don't worry about that too much, because that's genetics, and I can show you a way that you can actually get what's called a PPCT. It's basically just a perceived positive canthal tilt. So let me teach you exactly how to do that, so you can get this same transformation as I've gotten, as you can see over here. So basically, the exercise that I want you to do is something I call the eye polar. So the eye polar is basically just where you take your index fingers and put it by the end of your eyebrows here. What you want to think about here is grab under your muscle, and then you want to push upwards and then twist your fingers to the side, so you get a really good stretch on your orbicularis oculi, so you can kind of feel the strain around here. What you simply just want to do from here is squint downwards as hard as possible while resisting with your fingers to the side and upwards, so you really activate the orbicularis oculi muscle. The reason why we want to do this is just to fix those bad traits that I've told you about, but also just to stretch out your eyebrows to go in a positive tilt. Because right now maybe your eyebrows are going in a negative tilt or a neutral tilt, or it goes like the rainbow or the ghost look, as I told you before, and this will fix those problems. Once the eyes look sharper, there's something that people will now subconsciously think about, and it is the lower half of your face. This is where most men actually still look underdeveloped, even though if they're lean. That's because the muscle that gives width and strength to your lower area hasn't been developed properly throughout your years. And it is the muscle number 3, the Masseter muscle, aka just your chewing muscles right here. So if you take a look at the screen, I really want to tell you one of the most common things that I see with people having underdeveloped Masseter muscles. And first of all, it is that you actually get an asymmetrical face. Let me tell you why. It's because actually that when we are chewing, you have probably been chewing on one of your sides mainly the whole, like your whole entire life. And obviously when you do this, one of those muscles will actually have grown bigger than the other one, which will make your face shift to one of the sides, just like it did for me. You can see on in this picture, my whole entire face just goes this way. And that's literally, first of all, because of my neck posture, but second of all, also because of my masseter muscles was bigger on one of the sides. So I started to tilt my head more to one of the sides subconsciously. So the action step that I just want you to do so you can fix this problem, so you can get a more straight face like this, and your masseter muscles look more equally strong on both sides. It is just chewing harder food, but not just chewing harder food. You want to chew 70 to 30% on your weaker side, so that your weaker side can become as stronger as your strong side. So when they have become equally strong and big, now you can start to chew properly on each side equally, so you don't make the other side now bigger than the other one. Doing this over time will fix the asymmetry, but it will also grow your masseter muscles bigger, so you will get this wider frame, so you will look more masculine instead of having these feminine features like the girls usually wants to have. But even with strong masseter muscles, there's still one thing that can completely ruin your looks, especially from the side profile. It's the muscle that supports both the jaw and the neck muscles. If they're weak, the face will start to drop downwards and you will have what looks like fat under your jawline here. It's muscle number 4, the supra and the infra-hiatus muscles. When these are trained, you will raise up something called your hiatus bone, which is a U-shaped bone that we have right under our jaw here. Some of my students inside of my program have actually seen great results with doing the exercise that I'm going to show you in a minute. You can see here someone named Craig. He has already seen great results with tightening up what looked like fat under his jawline here, to tighten it up. It's not actually because of body fat percentages or anything. It's simply just because you haven't been training your supra and your infra-hiatus muscles that are responsible for raising up your hiatus bone, which is the bone that I talked to you about before, which is the one right here. So basically, as you can see on the left side picture, you can see how it looks like I have fat under my jawline here, like I have no definition at all. However, on the right side now, I've fixed this problem completely. I have this sharp looking jawline now, and there's no like fat ruining my bone structure and definition. So the way that you train these muscles is simply just doing neck curls. And the way that you want to do these neck curls is think about curling your chin inwards instead of just lifting your neck up and down like you would probably do at the gym, because this will target more of the supra-hiatus muscles, the ones right here, instead of more of the infra-hiatus. It's still important that we train the infra-hiatus, but we want to focus more on the supra-hiatus. So what you want to do is simply just lie by the end of a bed or a bench, and then you just want to think about getting a deep stretch as possible with your neck on this exercise. And then you simply just want to think about rolling your neck inwards, and then you lift your neck upwards. That should be the actions that you want to see. Again, training these different things have made my students see great results. And that's why if you want my help for my one-to-one coaching, then you can just DM me on Instagram and type transform so you can apply for my 3 month of one-to-one coaching. The spots are limited, so go down and do it now so you can secure your spots. Now that we are at the end of this video, I really want to say a thank you for watching this far. I want you to think about how impressive it is that you have actually taken the time to teach yourself about something educational instead of just, scrolling on Instagram or all these different things. So I'm so proud of you for that, and that is exactly why that I know that this channel will be exactly for you. So go down and click subscribe to this channel if you want to learn more of my advice. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. Go watch this video over here next if you want to keep on learning. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day, bro. Mwah!